Madam, calm down. I only asked whether you were standing or kneeling.
My son, today may be your last market day.
Why is everybody afraid of her? I will show you who the small one is.
Have you ever seen a short woman defeat a tall man in the middle of the market before? No. Then sit down. Don't skip this story. Because in one small village called Omi, there lived a tiny woman with anger of 10 lions. People feared her more than Aburus in the motor park. Even stubborn goats used to clear the road when they saw her coming. Her name was Ngboyo. And if Ngboyo told you, today is your day, my brother, start praying immediately. In a small town called Omi, where everybody knew everybody, in this town, privacy did not exist. If you enter the town for the first time, before you took 10 steps, everybody will ask, "Excuse me, are you not the son of the woman who sells pepper near the mango tree?" Another person will ask, "No, no, 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 look well. He looks like the nephew of Papa Sunday with one tooth." Even if you deny it, they will still know your entire family history before sunset. But in that town, there was one person everybody knew without asking question. Her name was Ngboyo. And if you heard that name, you will immediately check your behavior. Ngboyo was short, very short. If she stood behind a bucket, people might think she disappeared. But what she lacked in height, she made up in power, anger, and confidence. She worked harder than three men combined. Before sunrise, Ngboyo had already fetched water, swept her compound, cooked breakfast, shouted at one goat, and insulted laziness itself. By 9 a.m., she was already in the market. By 10 a.m., she was arguing with someone. By 11 a.m., she was usually wrestling. Nobody dares to mock her size. One foolish visitor once laughed and said, "Madam, are you standing or sitting?" People nearby quickly moved away. Ngboyo slowly turned. "Repeat that." The man laughed again. "What? I only asked if you are standing or..." Before he finished, his heart was in one direction, his slippers in another direction, and he was apologizing in the dust. People said, "That man came to buy yam, but bought pain instead." Anytime Ngboyo returned from the market, her children knew something had happened. One day, she came home with one earring missing, wrapper torn, and leaves on her hair. Her children ran outside. "Mama, what happened this time?" Boye dropped her basket proudly. "Nothing serious, though." The children stared. "Then why is your blouse backwards?" She waved her hand. "The tall man at the market thought because he's tall, I will fear him." The children sighed. "Not again, Mama." Boye continued dramatically. "He was talking from there like a radio tower. So what did you do?" "I disappeared from his eye level." "What does that mean?" "I went low." I went low. The children already knew trouble was coming. Then I held both legs. "No, yes." And I removed him from standing. The children screamed, "Mama." He landed like a sack of cassava. The whole market laughed so hard. One woman sat on onions. Because of Mboye, nobody dared insult her husband. Her husband was a peaceful man who moved carefully through life. If anyone tried to argue with him, he would whisper, "Please, let's settle this quarrel. Oh. My wife is still alive." If anybody threatens him, he will say, "Are you sure you want to continue this conversation?" Even the school teacher were careful with her children. One teacher flogged her son for sleeping in class. Boy stormed into the school like thunder. "Who touched my child?" The teacher said nervously. He was snoring during mathematics." Boy folded her arms. "Then wake him up gently. Why are you beating our future leaders? Must you always flog children?" Then one year, missionaries came to Omi town preaching peace, love, forgiveness, and patience. Villagers gathered to listen. Some mocked, some yearned. Some came only because there was nothing else happening in town. Then people noticed someone sitting quietly in front. It was Ngboyo. Everybody panicked. One woman whispered, "She came to fight the preachers." Another replied, "No, she came to challenge forgiveness." But something unexpected happened. Ngboyo listened. She became quiet, then emotional. Then she cried. The entire town froze. One old man fainted. Another said, "If Ngboyo is crying, the world is ending. Oh." After that day, Ngboyo changed completely. No more fighting. No more throwing sandals. No more market wrestling. No more dragging people like furniture. Now she smiled. She helped people. She spoke kindly. She even apologized once. Three people nearly collapsed. Nobody trusted it at first. They thought it was a trick. One rude woman in the market decided to test new Ngboyo. She shouted, "Are you still short?" The market became silent. Children climbed trees. Men stepped back. Ghosts relocated. Everybody waited to see what Ngboyo would do with her. Old Ngboyo would have launched herself into a missile, but new Ngboyo only smiled, adjusted her hair tie. Then she said calmly, "You should thank God. He changed me." The rude woman swallowed hard. Even the wind paused. One stubborn man kicked her basket on purpose. Tomatoes rolled everywhere. Crowd gathered. This was usually the beginning of chapter 1, but Mboye simply bent down and started picking them. Then she looked up and said, "My friend, thank heaven I am born again." The man quickly knelt. "Please allow me to help you gather the tomatoes." Soon the people of Omi began to talk. If Mboye can change, then anybody can change. People who used to fight began to settle quarrels peacefully. Women who used to gossip started controlling their tongue. Men who drank all day started behaving better. Young people who mocked church now began to attend service. Many villagers started following Boyo to church every week. The church that was once half empty became full. Some people even stood outside by the window to listen. One old woman said, "I came because if God can change Mboyo, then this place is powerful." Another man said, "I am not ready to change fully yet, but I came to see God who turned Mboye into a new person." Even those who came to laugh ended up staying to pray. The missionaries themselves were shocked. They said, "We preached many sermons, but Mboye's testimony preached louder." Soon everybody in Omi said, "If God can change Mboye, then nobody is beyond change." Even her husband became more confident. He stood in the compound one day and shouted, "I am now the head of this household." Real strength is not in defeating people, it is in defeating anger. And one changed life can change many others. Never judge a person by size, especially if that person is in Boye. Till today in Omi town, if two people are about to fight, elders still say, "Please calm down." Remember Mboye. Some peaceful people are only peaceful because grace is holding them. As years passed by, the people of Omi finally understood something about Mboye. She was not fighting because she loved trouble. Deep down, she had been fighting for survival. Since childhood, people mocked her because of her height. Even strangers used her size for entertainment. Whenever she entered the market, somebody must say something foolish. Ah, boy, if rain falls too much, we no go see you again, no. Another person will add, "Who kept this woman for ground level now?" Everybody will laugh. At first, she used to cry secretly, but later she decided if people want trouble, I will give them full trouble. And from there on, fighting became her defense. Nobody laughed twice after collecting one horse slap from Ngboye. But after she changed and gave her life to God, she began to understand something deeper. One Sunday, after church, she stood before the villagers and said, "For many years, I thought being short was a curse." The whole church became quiet. She continued, "I fought everybody because I believed I had to prove myself." Then she smiled. But God showed me something. One little child shouted, "What did she show you, Mama Boy?" She laughed. "He showed me that I may be small in size." She paused dramatically. but I am a big gift inside a small package. The whole church exploded in laughter and clapping. One old man shouted, "Na true, trouble package before, now blessing package." Everybody laughed. Even Ngboyo laughed so hard, tears entered her eyes. From that day, she began preaching all over Omi town. Whenever she saw people mock others, she would stop them immediately. One day, some boys were laughing at a little boy because he stammered. Ngboyo marched towards them slowly. The boys froze immediately they saw her. Even though she had changed, nobody wanted to test old memories. She folded her arms and asked, "So, because somebody is different, you people think God made mistake? Do you all think God make mistakes?" The boys looked down. Mboye pointed at the little boy. "Listen carefully. God does not create rubbish." Then she pointed at herself proudly. "Look at me. People mocked my height for years, but today the same mouth they used to laugh at me now invites me to preach." One woman shouted from the back, "Tell them, Mama Mboyo, tell them." Mboye continued, Some people are tall outside, but empty inside. But some people are small outside, but mighty inside. Some people stopped mocking others openly in Omi. Parents began teaching their children to respect everybody. And whenever somebody starts making fun of another person, elders will warn them, "Careful, oh, be careful, oh. Today's joke might become tomorrow's preacher." One evening, Boye's husband was bragging outside with his friends. He said proudly, "My wife is now very calm and peaceful. She is a changed person." Suddenly, they heard Mboye's voice from inside the house. "Who did not wash plates? Who did not wash plates? Who left all these plates unwashed?" Her husband jumped. His friends started laughing. One asked, "So old boy is still there inside small." "She's not completely changed though." The husband whispered carefully, "Only teeny teeny. But we are praying for more revival." Moral of this story: never mock people because of their appearance, height, weakness, or differences. Sometimes the people the world laughed at carry the greatest gifts inside. God did not create anybody by mistake. A person may look small outside, but carry greatness inside. And as Omi people learned, never underestimate a small package, especially if that package is Mboye. Please, if you love this story, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more stories. Thank you.